Okay, so this tall drink of water right here is the Yadea Elite Prime electric scooter. I've been having a lot of fun testing this thing out, so welcome to my review of it. So the Indiegogo price of this Yadea or Yadea Elite Prime electric scooter is $7.99 right now at the time of this video. It might already be over by the time you're watching this, so the normal price is $14.99. This scooter feels like you're riding on a cloud. It doesn't use your traditional spring suspension system. It has this single-sided cantilever design, so it looks very cool. Doesn't look like anything else that I've ever tested so far, but what it gives you is a lot of spring, a lot of bounce, and it does feel like you are riding in a really big SUV, and that's actually how they describe this scooter. It's the SUV of electric scooters. And so when I'm out in the road like this and I have, potholes and bumps, I have no worries at all. I'm going over something right now, feels good. My camera moved a little bit. But yeah, this thing feels so good to ride on even rough roads. It's not really marketed as like an off-road scooter. The tires are still made for, paved surfaces and stuff, but if you want to go a little bit off-road, you can definitely still do it. And if you do go off-road, you don't have to worry about getting it flat really, because these are tubeless tires that come in at 10 inches and they have this really cool self-healing technology. So they're using this kind of nano texture type of a thing, and that's going to help be able to heal it if it does have any punctures and stuff. So I'm not worried about getting any flats on this thing. But yeah, I would say them describing this as a SUV is really accurate, because when you are in a big SUV and you're riding in traffic, it does feel like you're sitting higher, or you're sitting higher than all the other cars. But one issue you might run into is that if they're not really maintaining the trails and the branches from trees and stuff are a little bit lower, you might find yourself having to duck on the scooter more than other scooters, but that's a minor inconvenience. Now this scooter feels really good too. I'm dipping and swerving. The road is actually closed, so don't worry about that. But it feels good, in control, very nice feeling. I feel like I'm riding around on a boat or something. But the handlebars themselves are actually angled towards you instead of just being straight out left and right. So what this means is that it does give me a little bit of bend in my elbows, which is nice in a good way. And then also the handlebars aren't adjustable up and down. So I didn't have a problem with that being 6 feet tall, but they do rate this scooter for being good for people who fall between the height range of 5'4" and 6'8", so that's a pretty good range. And with these handlebars being wide, you do have a lot of space up here to be able to add, smartphone holders and different attachments up here if you want. Now look, I'm not a daredevil, so I don't normally go over curbs like this. Woo, but I do it on this scooter because I barely felt that bump. I mean, the suspension that they have on here is next level. Like compared to anything else that I've tested so far, it feels so good. And just going up and down, let me check for traffic, just like that, no problem at all. Really good control. And I feel like, again, I'm not gonna be jumping off of like 6 feet high type of jumps and stuff, but the suspension just makes it feel like you are riding on a cloud. That's just the best way to describe this. Now, my Evel Knievel test that I've been doing here, I did find out that the rear fender does sit pretty low to the ground, which is typically fine. But if you are jumping off of curves and you don't have enough speed, you will have a decent chance of scraping the bottom of it, which I did here a little bit. It's not bad or anything like that, but just know that you do need to build up a decent amount of speed just to make sure you kind of float over the curb. All right, so it's very windy out here in St. Louis today, but I'll survive. So let's admire the design a little bit closely. So this isn't an aluminum alloy frame here, so it's gonna be durable, very strong, but also they went with this powder spray coat on it, so it gives it a very nice dark gray finish. This is the only color that it does come in, but it is very fingerprint resistant, so I love that. Very nice and clean. Then also the logos and stuff are very minimal on this scooter, and really the only cables that I see on the scooter are the 2 brake lines that are up front, and then they go inside of the stem and they look to be integrated from that point on. And then when we go to the bottom of the scooter, to the footboard or the deck, you see that it is made out of rubber, so it feels very nice and grippy. And then also it is a gray color, so it does show dirt from your shoes and stuff very easily. So that's really the dirtiest part of this scooter. But I love how on the back it is angled up, and that gives you a nice place to put one of your feet to give you a little bit more stability, especially when you are riding at the top speed of this scooter. So you can place one of your feet back there very nicely. And also down here in this same section, you will find the turn signals. So the good thing about the turn signals is that one, they're really bright, but but two, you can also see them from the sides as well. So not only the back, but also the sides of the scooter, and even from the front a little bit. But I love that visibility. And then I also do like the fact that up here on the handlebars, where you find the buttons for the turn signals, after you engage the turn signals, you do get an audible sound to let you know that you have them engaged, so it's harder for you to forget to turn them off. And so most scooters don't really do that, so it's very easy to ride around with your left turn signal on for an hour before you remember to turn it off. But you also get a visual indicator here on the display about the turn signals, and they even built in this 10-second timer for the turn signals as well. So after 10 seconds, they will automatically cut off. So I appreciate that, but I do wish that there wasn't a way to enable a longer time for the turn signals, maybe like a minute or 90 seconds, because I have found myself having to keep hitting the turn signal button when I am stopped at a red light, because oftentimes that takes longer than 10 seconds. So if there was some way inside of the app to extend that time if you wanted to, that would be good. But something else that's pretty good is also the tail light in the back that doubles as a brake light. So when you gauge the brakes, it will brighten up a little bit more than normal. And it looks cool too, because it looks like a triangle that's been broken up into 3 different sections. So the brake light, turn signals look really good. And then also up front, you will find a very bright headlight, good coverage at night. And this has an 120-degree coverage area, so it's really nice and wide. And then they also thrown in 360-degree coverage around this scooter as far as reflectors. So you have some reflectors on the back, on the sides, and also on the front. So you'll be nice to see on this very tall scooter by itself. And one of the reasons why we do call this like the SUV of electric scooters is because of the deck height. So the deck of the footboard sits around 6 inches off of the ground. So really good clearance if you are going over obstacles or you do want to take this off-road and stuff. And then the kickstand itself is really nice and durable. It's very easy to engage because it has a little lip that kind of hangs over. So very nice. And I just feel very confident in this thing not tipping over at any point. Now I weigh around 220 pounds, but the scooter does support up to 264 pounds. So I can eat a few more turkeys to get up to that point. But the scooter itself does weigh around 63 pounds. So it actually looks a little bit heavier than what it really weighs. But for everything that you're getting, it's not a bad weight, but it also is a folding scooter to make this a little bit easier to move around. And to get this bad boy folded down, on the front you do have this latch that you can undo with one hand, and then you also see this little bit of a safety catch here, so you actually have to bend the latch forward a little bit to also disengage the safety catch, and then now you can fold the scooter all the way down. And I really like that safety aspect of it, just in case you don't fully fold up the main latching part. It gives you a little bit of peace of mind that the stem is not going to fall over when you are riding around. But anyway, to complete the folding process, you will find this little clip here right underneath the display, and then now you just need to attach that to this hook that's on the deck of this scooter, and then now you can pick it up and then put it in the back of your car and move it around or so. So again, this isn't super light, so it does feel like my muscles are working a little bit here, but it's not bad as some other scooters in this category. Now, one more thing about the hooking mechanism is that because it doesn't fully lock in place, it can become undone when it is like in the back of your car or something and the scooter moves, then that can actually allow the stem to become free flowing. So I just wish there was some way to fully lock it in place. All right, let's get back up here on the handlebars for a second. So very nice grips too, very comfortable, very nice and secure feeling. And then also you do get a physical or a manual bell. Then on the right-hand side, you will find a thumb throttle that feels really good. Now, the display is integrated into the handlebars to give it a little bit more of a clean look. It does have a power button that you press down on it to go ahead and activate it. And no complaints with the brightness of the screen, and the screen will be showing you your speed that you're traveling and also your battery life that's left and some bars at the bottom of the screen, and also your particular riding mode that you are in, and if you are connected via Bluetooth to the app. All right, so let's talk about the internals a little bit. So this is a single motor scooter. It looks like it does have two, but just only one 800-watt scooter that does peak out at 1500 watts. So that's going to help you get up to the top speed of 18.6 miles per hour. All right, let's get down to it for my speed test. So let me put it in the fastest mode, which is speed mode, and it looks like we're ready to go. We have about half battery life here, but that shouldn't be a problem. So let's see what we get in 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, so again, 800-watt motor, peaks at 1500 watts. And the top speed for the scooter is going to be 18.6 miles per hour. On the scooter display is showing 19, but on my GPS app is showing around 17.8. So right under 18 miles per hour. So this isn't going to be the fastest scooter out here. So this is a really good cruising speed. I mean, this is going to be fine for a lot of people. The scooter definitely feels like it is holding back though. Like it can go faster, but because it's trying to maybe keep it legal in all places and stuff, they don't want to give you the full power. of this scooter, but this just really makes me want to have like a dual motor version of the scooter, something that you can just unlock and just rip it, and it would have even more competition to compete with some of those faster scooters out there. You know, legalities and stuff, I don't know about that, but I just want this scooter to be able to go faster. But 18.6 miles per hour, it's a good cruising speed if you just want to ride around the city and stuff, so it's not bad. But I will say that I love the braking on this scooter. So you have a triple braking system here. So you have disc braking, you have drum braking, and also electronic braking. So it's not the most robust braking system, but it does a good job, especially because this thing can't go too fast, you know, anything over 20 miles per hour. So the braking was really good. And oh, you also get regen braking too. So if you just let off of the throttle and just let the scooter kind of slow itself down, it will put a little bit of charge back inside of the battery, which is nice. Now you do get 4 different riding modes with this scooter, with the fastest one being called their speed mode and the one before that being called their sport mode. But be a little bit careful, because going from sport to speed means that you have a lot of torque going off of the start line with the scooter, as you can see in this video clip. Woo! Oh boy, did I get that on camera? So I did not mean to do that, but that's how much power this scooter has in the extreme mode or whatever it is. So I did a wheelie, I definitely scraped the rear fender, but it was worth it. All right, so now for my hill test. So this hill is pretty steep. I test all of my e-bikes and scooters on this one. So let's get this thing going in 3, 2, 1, boom. And I think I forgot to mention, this is a kick scooter too. So just a little bit of a kick that you have to do, and it'll get you on your way. And we're coming up this hill pretty decent. So again, 1500 watts peak power, not bad at all. And we're up the hill, kind of nice and steady. And I'm gonna do another run here, see if I can catch that car. But also one thing you should know is that when you are trying to do a kickstart, don't hold down on the throttle while you're kicking, because it's not going to activate. So make sure you don't have the throttle engaged, do a little bit of a kick, and then go ahead and press down on that throttle and you're good to go. Yeah, overall, I'm very happy with the hill climbing. I think it's rated to get up to like 30% grades, and then also the torque is around 40 Newton meters, so not bad. Now I have to be honest with you, I forgot the technical specs of the battery in this scooter, but it's rated to get you up to 40 miles of range. And the most important part for this is that it is really close to that, at least for me, weighing around 220 pounds. I was able to get around like 33, 34 miles out of this. So I was really impressed with that, because I was going up some hills and stuff. So I'm very happy with the range. But something else I'm more impressed with is this right here. This is actually the battery charger, which is one of the smallest that I've seen for any type of electric scooter or electric bike. And this really reminds me of a laptop charger. The best part is that the connection is magnetic. So when you do go to connect this to the scooter, you don't have to worry about, you know, putting it in the right way and stuff, making sure the prongs are in the right position. It magnetically will go ahead and connect, and then now you're ready to charge. All right, so I made a pit stop here in the studio for a second just to show you this app, because I like it because it's available for iOS and Android, and you can connect to your scooter via Bluetooth, but it gives you a lot of information and control, like your total mileage there, and then also the battery, and also you can lock and unlock the scooter right here from the app. And you also have some quick controls here, so the scooter does support cruise control, so you can turn that on if you want to use that, and also you can switch between the different gears just using the app, but of course you can do that on the scooter. And then when we go to vehicle setup here, you have senseless unlocking. So this basically allows your phone to do the unlocking for you. So the scooter will recognize that you're close via your phone and Bluetooth, and then it'll be able to go ahead and unlock it. So you can set that to far or near, and then now you can just hop on the scooter and go. So someone can still jump on your scooter, but they can't use the throttle if it's not unlocked. And then down here you have the option to turn on energy recovery or regen. So when the vehicle is slowing down, it can give a little bit of charge back to your battery. All right, so what else can I say about this scooter? Well, the best way I can describe this thing is being like Roger Federer, right? So Roger Federer is one of my favorite tennis players of all time. And the thing is that he didn't hit the fastest serve. He wasn't the fastest as far as movement on the court. He was just all around great, right? Like he just did everything pretty well. And that combined made him to be a great tennis player, but also to make this a really great electric scooter. So you get a little bit of everything, but especially the suspension. It is the best that I've used. So yeah, if you're looking for a well-rounded scooter, this is the one for you. So I'll drop a link down below in the description of this video so you can check it out even further. And hopefully you can still get that Indiegogo price, but even for the regular price, as I said in the beginning, this still is a really good deal. But anyway, I'm wrapping this video up. Let me know what you think about this scooter, and also give this video a like if you didn't already. And like always, I do want to thank you for watching, and I will catch you later. Peace.